All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something really exciting. We are stepping onto a completely virtual set to break down an absolute masterclass, the AI workflow behind cinema. We're going to look at exactly how you can ditch those bloated, massive Hollywood budgets and replace them with a clean, replicable, step-by-step AI video workflow. Seriously, forget the huge crews and the $1 million of gear. We're diving into how a single creator can piece together a hyper-realistic disaster scene entirely from their desk. Listen to this line for a second. I turn pain into scenes the world won't forget. That was actually spoken in the final cut of the cinematic project we're analyzing today, and man, it just beautifully frames what this entire workflow is all about. It's about taking absolute creative control. AI isn't just some cheap shortcut, it's a completely new way to translate raw human emotion directly to the screen. It's about leveraging artificial intelligence as a serious, heavy-hitting filmmaking tool to advance your vision. So here is our production roadmap for building this disaster scene from the ground up. We'll start with scripting the scene, then generating the footage, hitting the editing room, crafting cinematic sound, and finally nailing those titles and the final polish. All right, let's jump right into phase one, scripting the scene and really directing the AI. Now take a look at the level of detail here. The creator didn't just type in, broken road and call it a day. In our source material, they actually used ChatGPT to scan trending stories and build these highly specific prompts. Just look at the language. 8K hyper-realistic, massive highway splitting, cars frozen midair, wide-angle lens. You're not just writing a little story here, you are literally giving the AI camera directions, lighting cues, and atmospheric notes. And honestly, this granular detail, that is exactly what separates a generic, boring AI generation from a truly cinematic shot. Moving right along to step 2, generating the footage, stepping behind the AI camera. Okay, this is where you can go ahead and fire your accountant. When you direct a real movie, you do multiple takes, right? But standard AI tools run on these credit-based systems and monthly subscriptions. That means every single bad generation literally costs you money. Video Express, on the other hand, offers unlimited generations for a one-time fee. This is huge because it allows you to generate endless 6-second clips and just experiment with your scenes without that awful anxiety of running out of credits. It frees you up to actually be an artist instead of just a budget manager. But wait, how do you actually get a cohesive scene out of these little 6-second bursts? Well, you have to master what's called the continuity trick. It's so clever. You generate your first clip, you pause it on the very last frame, you save that exact image, and then you upload it right back into the system to kick off your next generation. Basically, you're stringing together these disjointed AI generations into one continuous, totally seamless cinematic shot. So we've got our raw footage. Now for step 3, let's head into the editing room to craft the flow. AI doesn't always have a great innate sense of rhythm. Sometimes it's a bit sluggish. So to maintain the cohesive, chaotic flow of a rush hour destruction scene, you're probably going to need to tweak the speed. In this specific workflow, a slower scene was manually sped up to 1.3 times normal speed in CapCut, and that simple tweak ensures the kinetic energy of the collapsing highway stays intense and consistent from one shot to the next. Now, to truly make this scene dynamic, we absolutely have to understand keyframes. Think of a keyframe as a marker that locks in a specific value, like scale or position, at an exact moment in time. This is exactly how we build cinematic tracking shots and zoom effects on things like those circling helicopters. It's basically the secret sauce of digital camera movement. Let's actually break down how this works in practice, because it's a real masterclass technique. You drop a starting keyframe using your transform tool, you lock the scale at 100% and the position at 0. Then, you just move down your timeline, drop an ending keyframe, and push that scale up to 145% while shifting your position coordinates. In this case, they shifted to -482 to track right in on the subject. But here is the absolute genius part. When you cut to the next video clip, you start its very first frame at that exact same 145% scale and -482 position. By manipulating the scale and coordinates like this, you perfectly carry the momentum of the zoom right into the next shot. And boom, you've just created a cut that is completely invisible to the naked eye. Then, to give the footage that gritty, theatrical edge without dropping a single dime on expensive VFX plugins, you just layer in some totally free CapCut effects. Throwing on a low exposure effect creates this dramatic, moody darkening, and adding camera beats gives the scene a really impactful rhythm. It just proves you really don't need a massive budget to make your footage feel incredibly cinematic. All right, visually, we are looking great. Step 4, cinematic sound design. Let's build out the audio world. This right here is the ultimate hurdle. How do you make it actually sound real? Because honestly, relying solely on native video AI tools usually yields super choppy, inconsistent audio. If you generate sound for one 6-second clip, your helicopter is going to sound totally different when you generate the audio for the next 6-second clip. It breaks the illusion completely. So the solution is decoupling your audio from your video generator. Shifting away from the native sound maker and over to a dedicated audio tool like Clone Voice is an absolute game changer. Instead of pulling your hair out over mismatched 6-second chunks, Clone Voice lets you create a unified, custom duration track. You can generate a full 60-second ambient soundscape of a helicopter on a busy highway that plays seamlessly beneath all of your visual cuts. Once you've got those long-form tracks, it all comes down to the mix. It's like a puzzle, balancing everything out. The ambient helicopter sound and the tension-building music track sit perfectly at 100% volume. But to make sure the actual story doesn't get lost, the rescue team's dialogue is deliberately boosted up to 20 decibels. You have to do this so those critical vocals punch right through the heavy, chaotic noise of the rotors and the music. Finally, the home stretch. Step 5, titles in that final director's cut polish. For the title cards, the creator shifts gears over to another tool called Artistly. But before generating a single letter, you'll have to lock in these exact dimensions. 1920 by 1080, the standard 16 by 9 aspect ratio. You gotta do this to ensure your final asset fits flawlessly into a cinematic YouTube frame. The last thing you want is all your hard work ruined by some awkward amateur cropping at the very end. Now here's a brilliant workaround for building a title sequence while skipping the expensive software. First, you generate your text on a light green background. Then, use Artistly's built-in background removal tool to just strip that green right away. Next, you have to export the file exclusively as a PNG. This is crucial to keep that transparency. Finally, you just drop that transparent file onto your timeline in CapCut and slap on a built-in animation like Big Bang Magic to make it aggressively pop onto the screen. But this right here, this is my absolute favorite part, the ultimate creative loop. Instead of just stopping there, the creator took that transparent PNG title card and fed it straight back into the Video Express AI camera. By pairing that image with the prompt, "Engulf the words in flames," the AI literally sets the customized text on fire. It creates this completely bespoke, high-end visual effect for the title, and you didn't even have to open a complex VFX program to do it. It really is just a marvel how these highly accessible tools, ChatGPT for the script, Video Express for the visuals, CapCut for the edit, Clone Voice for the audio, and Artistly for the titles, how they all string together to form a complete end-to-end studio right inside your computer. So I'll leave you with this final thought. With AI acting as your entire film crew, gripping, lighting, shooting, and scoring, what cinematic universe are you going to step up and create next?
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends? When the music fades? When nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win? What moves you then? I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me. Yeah. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash. Like it was never in me. That's the problem with external fuel. It burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You dependent on a source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire. Waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, it's a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I realize purpose don't scream, it whispers. It ain't in the crowd, it's found in the mirror. It ain't in applause or validation checks. It's in what you do when there's nothing to flex. Motivation temporary, purpose permanent. One phase away, the other's inherent. You don't wake up feeling it every day, but purpose don't care how you feel anyway. It moves through you even when you're tired, even when life feel misaligned and wired. It's that quiet push you can't explain. I say do it again through the doubt and pain. So I stopped asking how do I feel and started asking what's real, what's mine to build, what's mine to create. That's when I found something stronger than fate. I don't need a reason. I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling. I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. No more waiting. No more waiting. No more chasing. No more chasing. Internal driver. That's what's leading. Yeah. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This is what it looked like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout, it pulls. It don't beg, it demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back. There's gonna be days you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. There's gonna be days you question everything. Keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated. They the most committed to something deeper than motivation. I don't need a reason. Don't need a reason. I am the reason. Am the reason. I don't need the feeling. Don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. Move with meaning. No more waiting. No more waiting. No more chasing. No more chasing. Internal driver. That's what's leading. When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it, or if you was just borrowing it. Borrowing it.
The scariest part about AI content isn't what it can create, it's realizing how much attention you've been leaving on the table. I created this horror-style reel using AI-generated visuals, cinematic scene direction, and a simple two-scene structure. No film crew, no actors, no expensive set, no complicated production day. Just a concept, a prompt, and the right workflow. That's what I teach inside the Hustleverse AI UGC Blueprint, how to turn ideas into cinematic AI content that can promote products, build attention, and make your brand look way more polished online. Most people are still using AI to make random clips. But when you learn how to direct the scene, control the mood, structure the story, and connect the content back to an offer, that's when AI becomes a real content system. This reel is only 2 scenes, but it shows the bigger lesson in the app. You don't need more tools, you need better direction. Comment you see if you want the workflow.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is strong 59, day 1, and we are right at 17 minutes into today's challenge. And right now, I got my cell phone in my hand and I didn't even check. I didn't even check to make sure that everything is streaming. And what do you know? Everything is streaming in the private Facebook group. So Facebook did his job this time. I didn't have to copy and paste links just to make sure that the group was getting the content immediately. So sounds like Monday is starting off on the right foot. So hopefully for you guys, your Monday is starting off on the right foot. Hopefully you had a great Saturday and Sunday. You were able to decompress from last week, but hopefully last week was strong for you. Hopefully you got the necessary tools, skills, and you started to implement and take action on that knowledge so that you ended up having a great strong week, right? So we're here on Monday. We know what Monday is. Monday is what we call Take Your Heart Back Monday. We're done with the heart attacks. I don't want anybody having a heart attack this morning. I don't want anybody, waking up with dread, going to jobs that, don't serve them, that don't feed them everything that they want, but just feed them just enough to make it through the week, to make it through the month, but gives them nothing extra to look forward to. I'm hoping that by now you've broken free of that mentality. And that mentality, as we know, can turn physical. So we know what Mondays used to be known as. Used to be known as Heart Attack Monday. Statistics show, and we've looked at the stats and the statistics, and it shows that Monday morning, or better yet, whatever day is the beginning of your week, that's one of the most challenging days of your week. And it causes a lot of stress on people. It causes a lot of anxiety. And it's been known to cause heart attacks at a higher rate than most other days of the week. So, my goal over the last 59 strong weeks, every Monday, is to help you get into that positive vibe, get you started on the right foot. So let's start by peeling back the curtain, right? Let's start by peeling back the curtain to expose that most valuable document in all of online marketing. And the value, I had the value here set at right under $3,000, right? The value of this document has been set at $2,997 for the last, let's say, 9 months or so. And Mondays is part of the reason why the value is set that high. And it should be raised. We're going to raise the value of this document, soon enough. I'm tired of looking at that number because it's really undervaluing what you have access to. Some of you don't appreciate what you have access to. Some of you don't understand exactly what you have access to in this document. But specifically for Mondays, this document is something very powerful because it can help you start off on the right foot. Imagine going through this document, doing the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge, creating a piece of inspirational, motivational music just to get your day started, something in less than 10 minutes, something to get you going that you can download you can have on your phone. If you have a commute to work, a long commute, how about playing your personalized, inspirational, motivational song as you ride to work, just to get you that extra, internal driver, just to set the tone for the day. Now, that right there is priceless. That can be a priceless tool, a priceless asset for you on a daily basis. And that's part of the reason why every live I play a inspirational, motivational song. For example, that internal driver, which, we've been playing that for the last few months, right? But it's necessary and it's powerful. It adds fuel to, you know, what we can call a fire. Your fire might be on low when you first start your day out. I know for me personally, a lot of times, I wake up and I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't have, I don't feel energized. I don't feel ready to go. But that fuel, that internal driver, that specific song adds a layer of fuel to my fire and it gets me excited. And that's what you can personally have in your life. It may not be the internal driver song for you. I know. If you already making music with I know your music is the best music in the world and nobody else's music compares to yours. So I understand. I I agree. I feel the same way. I listen to a lot of other people's music. I listen to a lot of things and I say to myself, that ain't it. That ain't it. So that's why now this document is so powerful. It's so valuable because it gives you the option to not have to just rely on somebody else's interpretation of an internal driver. It allows you to create your own fuel. Now imagine you had your own vehicle and instead of having to worry about fueling up at the gas pump, paying these high prices because the prices is going up, right? They say the average cost per gallon of gas is around $4.09 now in the US. And it's determined by things that's going on in the world, wars and all kinds of other political things that determine the price of gas. But imagine you don't have to fuel up through somebody else's, manipulated system. What if you had the ability to fuel your vehicle, your internal driver, your, you know, personal vehicle that allows you to get from point A to point Z? You had the ability to fuel that at the same cost every day, at the cost of just a little bit of time, less than 10 minutes of your personal effort, and with a simple copy and paste formula. What if you had that opportunity to just get that fuel and pour it on your fire so that you just start to come to life and you are ready to go every single day? What if that helped prevent you from having a heart attack on a Monday? What if that helped reduce your stress levels, which, it does that for me. Every time I hear that internal driver song or whatever music that I create, before hearing it, I might have other things on my mind. I might have, family things on my mind. I might have business things on my mind. Things that, sometimes are draining, sometimes give you a little anxiety. Sometimes it makes you say to yourself, man, can I handle this? And those situations add stress on your mind, body, and soul. And that can cause those heart attacks. But when I hear my particular internal driver, it relieves me of a lot of that stress and anxiety. It's like my own personal medication, right? So you can create your own medication, so to speak. You can create your own, you know, thing that fuels you, whatever you want to call it, right? And this doc gives you the blueprint to do that. So that's where I'm going to leave that at right there so that you fully understand the value of this doc. Just one aspect of this doc, one aspect of what it helps you do. And if it helps keep you from out of the hospital or the grave, how valuable could that possibly be for you or someone else that you might know of that might be going through stress all the time? We have friends and family members that come to us all the time and they have problems and issues and concerns, and we just don't know what to tell them. We, I don't have a job to give you. I can't give you a raise at your job. They have to do that. I can't, start your business for you. You have to do that. I can help guide you in the direction that you can start your own business, that you can do this, that, and the third and make a change, but it's on you to do it. But you, as a community member, you can share this, most valuable document. And you can say, hey, this right here is something completely unconventional. This is something that I know no one has ever presented to you before. Something that, it was a little weird to me in the beginning, but it allowed me to control what I could control. And that was my mood, my personal driver, that fire within me that was running low. It allowed me to create something that helped get me through the day, Monday through Sunday. And, I think it can do the same for you. Give it a try. That's your job. And that's what you actually have access to. So I don't want to keep you guys too long today because I know it is that Monday and you're just getting back into the groove of your work week or whatever it is, the beginning for you. But I want to leave you with another quick message, another quick training. This one is going to be short. I don't have much on this particular page, but recently I've started a series of videos that I've been posting. And the title of these videos have been These 5 Words Saved Me. And there's various 5 words that have saved me throughout the course of my career. It saved me time, effort, stress, anxiety. It saved me from quitting when things got hard. It saved me from making some of the worst decisions that I could have made, that could have, made everything fall apart. And I hope that the series of videos that I've created, if you haven't saw them, check them out. Follow me on social media, Facebook preferably, at Mr. Hustleverse, and check those videos out. I will be creating more of those. They're short and it's just about 5 words that saved me from day to day from different situations. But today I just wanted to go a little bit more in depth about specific set of 5 words that has served me for years. And I know that it's so valuable and I understand the value of it. And it was brought back up to me, or I thought about it more during a recent mastermind call. I was having a great mastermind session, and one of my business partners mentioned that they haven't worked their way towards doing this specific task. Now, I was mentioning in the mastermind about how to specifically set up a landing page. And I mentioned doing one thing in particular, and they said that setting up the landing page basically was something that they hadn't gotten to yet. So it made me think about these 5 words. Here they are. Let me remove this curtain. First, focus on the foundation. Simple and plain. Anything that's being built, you first have to work on the foundation of it, no matter what. Now, you don't have to be a construction worker to know about the foundation of something or to understand the importance of having a strong foundation. All you have to do is be someone that's created something, that's lived through something, that started something. And whether or not you were successful at doing those things, you realize that the success or the failure of that situation was based on the foundation. If you didn't set the proper foundation, everything would crumble over top of what you were trying to build. If you set the proper foundation, the foundation will stay strong. Even if the things that you're creating somehow break, you can still stand firm on the foundation and work on fixing those things. So, first, focus on the foundation. That's some of the 5 words that saved me. And it's very valuable in our online marketing space because a lot of people don't know what the foundation is. And thinking about that specific mastermind, the foundation or part of the foundation for me was that landing page. But let's start to peel back the curtain real quick because a lot of people don't even get past this first foundational principle. If you ask AI or if you look at any particular online document about affiliate marketing, online marketing, starting a home-based business, if they give you a 10-step guide or a 5-step guide or whatever step guide they give you, usually the first step in that guide says pick a niche. Now, you might be surprised. A lot of people do not even pick a niche. A lot of people start an online business and they don't pick a niche. They sometimes they allow someone else to give them a niche that they don't even fully understand. They're not skilled in. They probably don't really have an interest in it, but they allow somebody to give them that niche and they say, hey, this is what you're supposed to build. This is what a profitable business should be focused on. And then that individual never finds success. They didn't start off first focused on the foundation, picking a niche. Now, make money from home is a niche. And people will tell you, hey, you're in the make money from home niche. If you're an affiliate marketer in a specific, niche, right? If you're being coached and trained in that specific niche, but that isn't the real niche. That's a broad niche. It's kind of like the healthcare industry. Somebody say, okay, best way to make money is in the healthcare industry. What does that mean? That can mean one of 1,000 things. What is the niche? The healthcare industry, yes, it is the niche, but we need to go deeper. We need to go deeper. And that's where most people fail. They need to add this. Pick a sub niche. A sub niche. That's where things start to get interesting. And that's where you start to pick a real business and have something to focus on. So if we're in the make money from home niche, then what is the sub niche for you? What aspect of that are you going to add value to and teach and provide a solution for someone in? So if you want to make money from home, once again, it's like the healthcare industry. Do you want to focus on the heart, the brain, you know, the bones, the hands, the feet, you know, facial structures, the head, and then, okay, you want to focus on the head, let's say. What do you want to focus on there? Do you want to focus on the lips? Do you want to focus on the nose, the eyes, the ears? You can focus on these specific sub niches. And sometimes, the sub niches has a even deeper, they have a sub niche. That's for those that really want to get laser focused, laser targeted on a specific thing. Okay, we picked the head. That's the sub niche. But now what's the sub niche of that? Because the head has various parts. Okay, now we want to focus on the sub part. We picked the nose. Okay, now what about the nose? We want to reconstruct the nose. Okay, we can focus on reconstruction of the nose. Or do we want to focus on the nasal passage, which leads to a person breathing? We can focus on that. What is it about the nose that you want to focus on? The fact that, a lot of people, you might not know them or you might not hear people complain, but a lot of people hate the fact that maybe their nose is the most shiniest part of their face. Every other part of their face is dry or whatever, but the nose, for whatever reason, is extra shiny. Maybe your sub niche is getting the nose to not look as shiny, getting the nose to not be that as pertinent or as, so much of an eyesore when you walk into a room. So most people don't spend enough time picking a niche. That's part of first focusing on the foundation. Now, once when you get the niche and everything that's involved in the niche, which that's a that's a deep subject. We only have two things listed here, and I'm not giving you a deep dive on it, but that's something that we can spend an hour on alone, just talking about that factor. But let's move over here. Then I have set up your funnel. So in this particular case, in the mastermind, we were more so speaking about the funnel. So there's a foundation that you need to focus on with your funnel. And the landing page is the foundation. So, okay, landing page, but what's the elements? What's the elements of your landing page? So, is it a landing page that's solely designed to capture leads? Is it a landing page that's designed to also provide value? Is it a landing page that's also designed to kind of sell the product in a way where, you know, it builds more curiosity? What is the elements of your funnel? And it makes me think about that conversation because me personally, one of my strengths and possibly one of my weaknesses is that I like to deep dive on various things. I don't like to just keep things, you know, um, surface level. So I can spend a lot of time focused on one thing. I don't have, you know, a short attention span when it comes to that. I don't need to see something moving every 3 seconds. I believe I have certain, ADHD type of, elements to me, but I can look at something for the longest and stay focused on it, which is a positive thing and it could be a negative thing. While other people are moving fast, they're running through, they, okay, I'm just gonna get in the make money from home. I'm not gonna even dive any deeper. We just gonna run with it and run with it. And then they go to the setting up your funnel and they say, you know something, I'm not even gonna set up a funnel. This company, that company, they already gave me a landing page, a link. I'm just gonna let that do all the work and I'm done. I'm set. All right, let's go. Let's go share. Let's go do this. And they might move so fast that, you know, they miss setting up first the focus on the foundation. And I might still be here, just, picking a niche, saying, hey, make money from home niche sounds good, but what does that mean? What does that mean? Why is everybody so geared towards this particular niche? Okay, why aren't people looking at the sub niche aspect of it? Okay, now I'm in the sub niche section and I'm thinking, well, damn, this sub niche, it has a sub niche. And I might spend a lot of time focused on those elements while people are just, they glance over and they're moving on to the next thing. Good and bad, right? Well, for various purposes, we make things good or bad. Now, when it comes from a teaching standpoint, you know, do you want somebody that just glances over something and says, hey, yeah, I'm just going to jump from here. Yeah, the website funnel is already set up. Boom, I don't have to do that. Do you want that person teaching you to just glance over stuff? Or do you want someone who's laser focused on the foundation and what the foundation entails? Different skill sets, different needs for that skill set, right? When you want to learn something, you come to somebody that can actually teach you, that knows what they're talking about, right? Some people say, hey, I just want to get to the money. I just want to get to doing it. And this person right here said, don't focus on that. Don't worry about learning this. Don't worry about learning that. All you got to do is this. Well, how has that been working for you so far? That's my question. How has that been working for you so far? Because people will have you jumping from one thing to another, not keeping you focused, keeping you so distracted that you never make a dent in your business, keeping you so distracted that you're not focusing on the foundation and you end up having a conversation or saying something in the conversation like what I heard on that mastermind. When my business partner said, you know, I haven't gotten around to doing that aspect of looking at the landing page or creating a landing page that, you know, would actually give me more results than what I've been spending all of this time focused on. I've been jumping from here, there, everywhere, looking at this, getting this new tool, figuring this is going to help me. That's going to help me buy this tool, buy that. Here's another one that came out. Let me jump to here, buy that one. Let me, I think that's going to take care of all this, that, and the third. That might be you. That might be you. The type of person that feels as though everything has to move so fast and you think that the answer is in the latest greatest tool. The answer is in, you think that it's in moving past the foundation and jumping to something that promises that it can do everything for you. And you end up saying, hey, somebody asks you, hey, did you brush your teeth this morning? Nah, I just, you'd be like, I just hopped up and, I just got to work. I put on my clothes, I got dressed and, I ran to work. Well, You didn't lay a you ain't lay a proper foundation for your day. Yeah, you got the work. You got to where you were supposed to be. You got there on time. You got there early. You're where you're supposed to be. It's important. Somebody said, "Hey, show up to work on time. Be at your desk. Perform the job." But now you sitting next to your coworker and you trying to talk to your coworker, and they moving back on you. Because you didn't focus on the foundation. You didn't get your mouth right. You didn't get your breath right before you came in. You didn't set the proper stage for that day to be the best it can be. Yeah, you typed, you did your job, But now the conversation in the office is more so about, damn, did you smell Karen's breath? Did you talk to, you know, John today? People like, yeah, I did talk to John. Why you ask? And you're like, well, I just wanted to know what y'all was talking about. Then people want to beat around the bush, right? But those are things that, might be weird to you, but those are the things that I think about when I think about the foundation. When I think about the foundation. And just because we apply foundational principles to our online business, or for those people that don't apply the foundational principles to their business, I can just imagine what they're doing in their real life. What they're doing in their real life, right? Or what they're not doing. I heard an interesting study and just came to my mind. I don't know if it was just a meme type of situation or something that was just for clickbait purposes, but they were talking about men not washing their legs and feet. And they were interviewing people, and some people were saying that no, they don't. And I'm like, that's part of the, laying the focus of the foundation. If you have bad feet, if you're not taking care of your feet, that's what you stand on. That's part of your foundation. How can you not take care of that aspect of you? And you know, I couldn't imagine not taking care of that aspect of me, because one of the things, get a little personal here. One of my pet peeves is that I never liked feet. I hate I ain't gonna say I hate feet, but I hate a ugly foot. Especially, a woman, in my opinion, has to have nice feet. That's just my thing. I can't stand a nasty foot. And then, just to think, I've seen pictures of all kinds of horrible feet pictures and stuff. People with, all kinds of distortions and things like that, male and female, right? And I can't imagine looking down at my feet and seeing something like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I focus on the foundation. So my feet ain't bad. My feet actually, I would say my feet look a lot better than a lot of these women's feet. Some people might say, hey, I don't focus on that. I'm a man or whatever. My feet supposed to look rough, rugged, and raw. Man, get your ass out of here. Man, that shit is that that's crazy to me. Man, I couldn't imagine. I don't want to lay next to a woman with horrible feet, and I don't want horrible feet attached to me. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. That's bruh, like that's crazy. That's crazy. But that's because that study basically exposes the fact that a lot of people don't focus on the foundation. They try to do what they can for their face. They going to try to do what they can for their face. They might, Some people might work out a little bit more than others. They want their chest and their arms to look a certain way. But then, they got the thing that they say, hey, they skip leg day. Well, because they skipping, they skipping the foundation. They want to give the impression that they're doing something so amazing. They want to skip the foundation and they want to go all the way to the end result. The end result of most people who work out or who focus on, building muscle and stuff like that, a lot of times that's from an ego standpoint. They want to give the impression they don't want to actually be strong. They want to look strong. They want people to see them and perceive them as being strong. And they figure, hey, most times people are just they're going to look at you in your face. They're going to look at you in your chest and your arms. And they're going to say, oh, dude looks like he bench presses this, that, and the third. And then they'll neglect the legs because their focus, their goal isn't to be fit. Their goal is to give the impression and to cut to the end result of what they actually want. And that is the perception. They want people to look at them that way. They don't want to necessarily be that. It's kind of like in the online industry. Most people want to give the impression that they know what they're talking about just so that they can sell you a product or service. They want to give you the impression that, yeah, I'm an expert at this, that, and the third, because they can talk and have a conversation about something. And they might have sold you just on that aspect. But then when you get down to the foundation and you get down to looking at the legs, the legs of the situation, you're like, damn, well, you're not, what about the legs? What about the setup of the funnel? What about the elements of the funnel? Can we talk about that? Then the story changes. You don't have to worry about that. It's already set up. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. That's the game that is being played online. Now, you can fall into that trap and you can be one of those people that, you know, decide to be on that side of the coin. But me personally, I prefer to be on the side of the coin that says, hey, I'm going to first focus on the foundation so that if the foundation, somehow something cracks in the foundation, I know how to patch that up and make that foundation a little bit stronger. And then once when the foundation is strong, then I know how to build up from there. I know how to put the walls up. I know how to put the chairs in the room. I know how to put the desk in the room. Matter of fact, if I can't find a desk available, then I know how to build the desk, right? Because that's part of the tech stuff, right? That's part of, that's part of the stuff that they tell you not to focus on. They want you focused on the other things, on the fast, quick 3-second jump here, jump there type of thing that doesn't give you a strong foundation. So with that, I look at the time, it's 9:55 a.m. EST time. I hope you're starting out your day on the right foot. I wanted to play a song for you. I didn't have a particular music video created for it. I don't believe I did. The song I created, it was made a while back. So I'm not sure if I created a music video for it. And I'm doing the search right now. And no, I don't. But the song itself is a powerful song. And like I tell you guys, I don't just wake up one morning and I say, hey, this is who I am. and this is who I'm going to be today, and then tomorrow I'm somebody different. I wake up with a strong foundation. I am who I am, and I've been that since I was however old, you know, and I've built on that foundation of continuing and adding more to that individual, not changing, but growing and developing. See, this life is more about growth and development, not necessarily changing. You might have certain ways and qualities about you that you need to keep intact. Just develop them a little bit better. Make sure that you get stronger in certain areas. And you might want to get weaker in other areas. You know, if you have bad habits, get weaker in those bad habits. Let that bad habit diminish. Let it eliminate itself naturally by, replacing it with stronger habits, because we all have a certain set amount of time in the day. And even bad habits are things that, we spend time on. So your bad habit might be, hey, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. But if you replace that bad habit of you not doing something with you doing something positive and constructive, then there's a chance that you might end up, doing what you normally wouldn't have done, and you balance it out, right? You might not have completely eliminated, you know, your bad habit. You might still not do that specific thing, or you might still do whatever it is that's a bad habit, but you balanced it out with so much good that you don't have time to even, you know, that bad habit is not even a factor anymore, right? So that's a perspective. That's a way of looking at it, right? So I want to play this song for you. And the name of this song right here is Two Words That Saved Me. So see, it started out with two words that saved me, right? Started out with two. Now we up to five, right? So 5 words saved me. In this particular song right here, it was created back when, you know, I was using one of my favorite tools, which is Suno. And it wasn't at its latest version, but it says right here, this remastered version of the song I created back in November 29th, 2025, right? So a few months ago. It's what, 8 months ago? So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I appreciate you joining me here today. Hopefully this song right here inspires you and motivates you. And I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's live. And we're going to close out like we always do. Have a great rest of your day.
They always ask me what changed everything. Truth is, it was just 2 words. Not get rich, not go viral. It was keep going. I had nights where the screen just blurred, staring at stats, no click, no word. Friends laugh when I said online, they ain't see the vision, just decline. Stacking nails like unpaid bills, but I wrote rhymes just to feel that thrill. Nobody clapped when I hit reset, but I still type like a signed blank check. Every note was a note in my chorus, turned pain into verses that would storm us. And when doubt tried to talk me out, 2 words lit my flame when my fire went out.
2 words that saves me keep going, even when the pace slow, no sign showing. Rain on my grind, but I kept sowing. Now harvest looking like I always known it. They gave up, I stayed zoned in. 2 words that saved me keep going.
Try to fold me, but I bent like steel. Pressure made the purpose more real. I was broke with expensive dreams, but the hunger in my gut had a millionaire schemes. Had no team, had no ads, just willpower in my notepad. Learn traffic, copy funnels and leads. While they chase trends, I studied needs. Didn't need applause or the dopamine. I needed skills I could pass to my seed. They want cheat codes, I want truth in 2 words. Had me bulletproof.
2 words that save me keep going. Even when the pace slow, no sign showing. Rain on my grind, but I kept sowing. Now harvest looking like I always known it. Keep up, I stayed on it. And 2 words that saved me.
My coach struggles with the same old doubt. Tell him it's okay if the light runs out, cause the sex ain't sexy, it's gritty. Real, it's trusting your step when you can't see the hill. Keep going, ain't magic, it's habit. It's clicking through lessons instead of that tablet. It's posting your voice when you're scared of the mic. It's learning to write when you never got it right. No spotlight, just reps and grace. 2 words turn my life to American race. If you're tired of the losing and faking hopes that these 2 words loud, they'll pull your rope.
2 words that save me keep going. Even when the pace slow, no sign showing. Rain on my grind, but I kept sowing. Now harvest looking like I always known it. They gave up, I stayed zoned in. 2 words that save me keep going. Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's game. Dad got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. Till my PayPal pinged and they changed up the touch. No big brand, no 6-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type. Blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face.